permit. I don't care if you buy a permit. Do you know how little I actually care if you have a permit?
Complaining about the fact that he received no support from that. I think Bode has some.
Yes, I
some
do.
leaks for us.
Oh, I got some leaks for you.
It's like simple
right.
shit like that. Nope, simple shit like that. If he can't answer that,
I need to break in because I need more original every week. That's a goal.
Do you really actually get paid for that? Because you deserve money for that last one. That one was a fucking amazing setup.
Oh, he's here.
Let him freaking talk.
I love it. I love it. They're all... So I can see their video, folks. Welcome to another show, Push to Talk. I can see their video, and all three of them are silent on the video, right? And as soon as they see we're about to transition, it's like, whammo, hey, let's start talking about something.
We've been talking for
I blame Horrendous every week.
I would too.
It's all his fault.
I don't.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the treat for you this week is we have Dirt Cam.
Hi. Caleb bullied me. That's just kind of how this goes.
Always blame me.
He did. Caleb worked him over in Discord chat. He's like, okay, fine. Did you go to the store and buy a video camera, or did you have one?
No, I had one.
Okay.
He doesn't have a webcam lying around. I just had to dig it out and, install it and so on.
It wasn't really brutal. Caleb just did one of his typical rants that went on for ages, and it bored us into getting it happening, right?
Well, it's one of my secret plans. I'm going to see if I can get all INN staff to actually eventually be on cam on Push to Talk.
There you go.
That'll be an epic show.
That's an interesting goal, but sure, you do.
All of INN staff. That's a bad idea.
What?
Not at the same time, Horrendous. Don't worry.
It's a lot of people.
We have a lot of people on the show.
And I
nice.
think Boat's still on staff, so do you really want Boat on Push?
Yeah, I love Horrendous. I love Boat
because
I'm a
this
fan.
group likes to talk, and he won't let.
He'll let us. I've been on shows with him. He's fine.
We're going to do a World War II allegory special.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
You see, here's the thing, though. Most of us here, excluding a few, are Euros, so we can get into that talk with him.
That's true.
I don't think we want to. This seems like a dangerous topic.
There you go.
Oh, where's your sense of fun and adventure, Dirk?
I wasn't aware I had one, but
I wasn't aware he had one either.
We have to give a shout out to Holy Thok here, which I love. I love the name, by the way. Love his name.
Oh yeah.
Subscriber for 20 months with Twitch Prime. Thank you. And
all of that Bezos bucks.
What?
All of that Bezos bucks.
You know what I didn't do, and so our thing will be all fucked up. I'm not going to change it because we are having so much troubles. I didn't change the title. So
we don't even have Craig in the chat.
Oh yeah, I get it. I'll bring him. We were.
This has been so well set up.
So we all started setting up just for the audience, right? And then we were trying to get Dirk on Skype and all that fun stuff working, and we had some video problems, and then I had to reboot, and woohoo! We had a good time though. All right, let me I'll get Craig in here.
Are they still Bezos bucks, or are they now Bin Salman?
What?
You see, I thought you were going for a comment about his ex-wife. But, yeah, okay.
What?
Don't open
Bezos bucks or
Mohammed bin
what?
Salman, by the way.
Why has it been Solomon bucks? What I miss?
You do not know. Like, his phone got hacked by Mohammed bin Salman.
Oh yeah.
The premier of Iran, right?
Right.
I mean, it's
Saudi.
Saudi, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't bin Salman specifically doing the hack. He was just accused of it.
Yeah.
Well, he sent the message.
He sent the message with the video.
But he probably didn't write the malware. I'll grant you.
Probably
are you guys
his own guys who went send him this.
Are you guys ready for Craig?
Honestly, the whole headline.
Now recording.
By the way, please ignore the big error message that Craig gives us because we don't know why it happens, but he records.
The whole headline of the world's richest tech giant gets hacked. That just does not inspire confidence.
I don't know. Is he the world's biggest tech giant?
He's a bit of a nerd, but it doesn't. Just because he's the head, the CEO of the world's biggest tech giant,
he's the most brilliant
he's
guy.
not infallible.
Of course not. But think about how the masses read things.
I mean, AWS is a thing.
Why do you care about what the masses
Because
in
the
general
masses,
as a group
because the masses
terrible.
have the capability of fucking up my economy.
But seriously, if you've got Bezos money, right? Why don't you have your own pet love team on speed dial, right? That's going to be the first thing you should do if you reach that whole billionaire trillion dollar range, right?
I just want to see Bezos throw a few rods from God on the next capsule he sends to space. Return the favor to Saudi, because he's got a company that could effectively afford to wage a private war.
Well, the whole Saudi thing, they're doing the IPO, right?
He's got the drones.
Hold it.
Let's put it that way.
Hold it.
Wow.
The Saudis are IPOing the whole big oil deal, so just throw a couple Bezos bucks over there and just become majority investor, right?
Get ready for Amazon drones weaponized.
Hey,
there's just images of these drones dive bombing different Saudi royals.
Hey, Gavraj would like us to talk about Eve.
Even Blue Origin, the rods from God thing is not beyond his reach.
That's what I mean, right? He has the capability. He has this.
He has a private spaceflight company.
Yeah.
Hey, Rail284, thank you for the follow. By the way, Gavraj is really asking us to actually talk about Eve, but we have to really decide. We have to really decide.
I thought we were talking about the people on G244.
Well, do we? How do we weight his comment? Because,
no,
he's not throwing us any Bezos bucks because he's not a subscriber, and I don't even know if he's a follower.
This is really
terrible.
Okay.
Terrible.
The whole MBS Bezos thing. This is a preview of Aerith next year. What he does.
Aerith and his private army.
Arendis, you weren't in our early talk that Caleb and Dirk and I were in. We'll talk about Bezos bucks a little more later after the show.
Do we have to?
No, but we don't have to. But so what we got? What are we gonna talk about? I know Mist wanted a little time for a thing.
So I wanted to introduce a new section to the show where we spend 5 minutes talking about a topic seriously.
Time out.
This section is going to
last
have
sections?
about 30 seconds.
Okay, go.
Yeah.
Not this week. This week I predicted that the session will actually last long.
All right.
I'm pretty sure I know what he wants to talk about.
So,
All right.
Plex for Good. I looked at the notice and we weren't on the cool people's list for the final stream of the Plex for Good Streamathon campaign. But I completely understand why that is. We as a face are very not marketable. But there was a Plex for Good thing I saw on the forum and everything. A gold frigate ship, I can't pronounce the name.
Gold Magnate.
That, only 2 of them available in the game, and one of the owners wants to sell it. But you bid in values of Plex, which would actually then be donated to charity to the Plex for Good campaign. And there's literally this person on the forum goes, oh, I think I've got like 1 million units for Plex. I could probably scrape together if I get access to my account again.
Okay.
When you say get access to the account, he was just trying to find and remember his password. It wasn't a thing of CCP unban me so that I can do anything. No, that's...
He hasn't logged in years.
That's okay. That's okay. But let's also keep in mind that when you say some person on the forums, this is as far as anybody who does internet shit goes. This is a recognizable name. This is Scott Manley. This is Mr. Kerbals.
Yeah. But Randus, I don't actually know the names of half the people I work with, so...
That's like
right.
terrible.
I mean, this guy is legitimately someone that people who are watching might well know.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Scott Manley's a pretty well-known guy on the YouTube space. As you pointed out, Mr. Kerbin. And I'm sure a lot of our audience have played Kerbal Space Program as well, and are looking forward to number 2.
I may or may not have killed a few.
Yeah. Oh, we've all killed.
And just for the sake of reference, some back of the envelope math says that 1 billion Plex is roughly 30 grand.
$1 million.
Millions, right?
Million.
Yeah. But yeah, roughly 30,000 USD.
Yeah, roughly 30 USD.
Works out in-game value at about 3.5 to 3.7 trillion-isk, depending on where the price of Plex is at any given moment. So, yeah. The initial asking price, this was Kellon Darklight's Gold Magnate that he won in the Master Session Trials back in 2016, I want to say.
Yes.
So yeah, he was asking for a trillion-isk, which for a Gold Magnate is not necessarily an unreasonable asking price. I'm sure a lot of people will be like, what? A trillion-isk is not unreasonable, but yeah, it's not unreasonable.
You can get upwards of 150 for a silver, yeah.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, Scott Manley himself said, like, you know, the amount of Plex would equate to 160 years of game time. Just, you know, so you know. Which is insane.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah, I could see that.
Just for the comparison, didn't they calculate the injection that they did with the full character all skills? Iron Bank did that a while back. Didn't they calculate that to almost 300 years?
Yeah, something like that. The hilarious thing about that was that Iron Bank injected all of these skills so that he could fly literally everything perfectly, and then ripped out all of the skills again.
Does Iron Bank even play the game? I mean, I thought he was banned. Is he unbanned?
Oh, he's banned. He's
okay.
banned, but,
he's banned on that character.
This was before...
I like how you phrase that, Arendis. He's banned on that character.
It wasn't an IP ban.
Yep, it wasn't an IP ban, it was just a character ban.
I thought he got unbanned.
He was banned and unbanned and banned again, and it was that whole casino deal that nobody's quite sure what went on with, even to this day, because...
You know, because, you know, transparency. Yeah, it works. Mm-hmm.
I was actually expecting him to try and come back with all this new raffle thing.
But they were like looking into Or even with the whole raffle thing with Pro Golf Legend trying to actually achieve something, but that fell flat on its face a little bit, just like Test's campaign in the North, which is completely different to PanFam's content campaign, which is actually kicking into quite the highest gear. It may even be possibly declared as a war soon, but we're going to have to wait for them.
Test's campaign is not over.
I mean,
they did a fleet like up north, you know, where they're throwing people, you know, cash money, well, not money, like ISK and like prizes and stuff. I have to wonder how they kind of like raffled, like how they kind of like picked people to give prizes out in that regard.
You see, I want to make two points, but one's going to sidetrack us off.
So make the other one.
Okay, so make the non.
Yeah,
make that the second point.
So I'm really out of the loop with what's going on in the north. I'm assuming Test are done with Stain and are going back north.
So
I doubt that's done with Stain.
Near the end of the year, Test was like, Billy was on the CSM meeting, and there was a disagreement about, I think it was down to how CCP communicates with the CSM, something
There
like
has
that.
been no release of information about exactly what happened during the CSM meeting, because that would be a breach of NDA.
I honestly, at this particular point, think that it's just something that, you know, that
It's
Villian
making
Test
shit
can
up for
say
no
is a
reason.
reason for them to go to war without actually having a reason to go to war. Like, I honestly just think it's just bullshit right now.
So that happened. So Vinny was like, something got said at the CSM. I don't like it. We are going to war. He used the W word on Reddit, so it was Reddit War Official. And Sort Dragon then came back and said, do it, bring it.
Yeah.
And then Tess was like, yeah, their time zone's a bit too strong. Plus, we don't want to lose our friends here. Because when they were talking of friends, people thinking they don't want to lose that agreement with the Imperium because they don't want to be working too closely with PanFam, who are already taking care of operations up north. Now, PanFam have said that they're doing like this content war, where they're going for some cheeky content and a bit of the good fights here and there. But during their last engagement, we're offering 3 billion ISK bounties on monitors, which isn't something you casually throw around in a good content war. It's literally here, 3 billion to get the headshot.
Now, right. Okay, so I just want to sort of ask something, and you know, old school kind of players of the game like Arendus and you know, Eric and stuff, will kind of, you know, you could either back me up or completely like break, you know, what I'm about to say like down entirely. But like back in the day, right, it was good fights if you were going after like fleet fights and kills and stuff. But it was a different thing if you started hitting structures and and people solve.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a case of like, if it's good fights, then just leave it at, you know, fleet fights. But if you're straying into the territory of taking people's SOV, killing people's structures that are in their own space, then I'm sorry, you can't claim that to be good fights. You're on a territory. You're on a campaign.
I've got a far more pointed version of that argument that I was going to bring up as well. If this is just good fights and content, why are they subjecting themselves to Entosis warfare?
That's a very good question.
Yeah. Very pointed, actually. Well played.
I mean, in the kind of older times, you'd see even in these kind of good fight content deployment ideas, people would hit things like pauses because that gives people a time to be around for.
Oh,
you know,
yeah, like pauses
a thing
is
to
one
fight
thing.
over. The SOV was a different matter, but
like they might drop
people-
SBUs for the same reason, but
yeah, the actual
actually
nature of
going
the
after
assault
the
wasn't-
station or something. Yeah.
Well, there was the difference between we're going to hit one to create a content timer and a concerted effort to go after every single thing.
Excuse me while I troll your cloning service on the station, but other than that,
Yeah, and so the reason they're only saying, "Oh, it's just for good fights" or "It's just for content," is because they don't want to do like they don't want to do a Villy and be like, "We're at war," and then lose the war.
The thing is, as soon as you mention it's a war, a lot more eyes go on you, a lot more attention goes on the theatre. If it is just, content, happy days. I mean, Tess could have said about the whole, we're going to war up north, so everyone looks up north and pays no attention to them in Stain while they drop that keep star.
What, a few tactical feeds up north just to distract.
Yeah, well, it's weird. It's like people say we want a war, or it's not a war, but we're calling every single paper we've got to our banners to go do a thing. But remember, it's just good content, but we're punishing our people to make sure that they go in and do these timers. And we're also offering headshot bounties, but it's definitely not a war yet. It's definitely not a war. Definitely not. Oh, we won the war.
Herfing time and time again over the course of 36 hours for a single fleet.
When you started to run out of colours of pen to call operations, then you know it's a war.
Which colour are they using now?
If they get to magenta, then it's magenta. It's really going south.
Hold it.
You're in home base, and you're in home base at the paint tile, and you're just looking at it right. So we've got timeless, we've got emotion, we've got
it's basically
anger, all these different colours.
Vince basically
running out.
Yeah, Vince just has one of those paint color wheels that he's just slowly going through.
He just kind of spins it and just waits to see what it lands on to call for a particular thing.
Haven't color printers, though, redefined the 4 primary colors to magenta, cyan, yellow, and black? I mean...
Yeah, it's
so I would argue that, when you get to mauve, maybe it's a war. I don't know. So I don't know.
This is an official teal pen op, guys.
This is one of our serious topics, folks.
Can we get a big clock that shows when it's 5 seconds to war?
Minutes to midnight clock.
Yeah, 5 minutes to midnight.
It could be worse.
So Caleb's asking for a doomsday clock for EVE Online.
I would like
EVE
that.
Online, it would be a clock.
And just as a, small segue, talking about the doomsday clock, we are now at the closest we've ever been to the end of human existence on Earth. They moved it to 100 seconds to midnight.
Apparently closer
than really? Seriously?
It can be closer. It can be closer. We just need to work at it.
Yeah.
If we put in some effort.
Yeah, exactly.
So what prompted that anyway?
Some of us actually remember the Cold War era, right? When all this doom and gloom and 5 minutes to midnight and the whole duck and cover and all of that shit was very hot topic, right? Now this is just retro stuff. It's just revamping all of that. This is why we get things like Rambo Last Blood. This is why we have the Picard thing. Everything is just reworked and revamped, right? I think Arendis and I were talking about this last week because Jay and Silent Bob Reboot just came out. It's just revamping and recycling all of that old stuff to make drama. And now we also got this whole big plague issue, which is really retro, right? Because this is like the coronavirus, which is completely fucking harmless mostly, right? And if you compare it to any other disease, it's just a laughing joke, right? So this is basically just the news of today. It's because people are so tired of the UK and the US failscape bullshit, right? We don't want to read any more about Brexit. We don't want to listen to Trump and his tweets anymore.
Oh,
we
hold it.
Have something different, anything.
Hold it. Brexit is over, man. We got Megxit or whatever the hell it is.
Oh yeah, Brexit's completely over.
It's
Nothing else is going to happen on that. It's signed, sealed, done.
Yeah, done.
Everything has been agreed. Obviously,
we have to.
Don't get me started on this one.
We do have to address Victor in chat here about what we absolutely. I don't believe that 80s fashion is back. Number one, there's no parachute pants, and You know, girls aren't hairspraying their hair giant yet, so it's not back yet. Okay.
Hey, wait for it because both
If
Doge and
80s
I can
fashion
actually
is
start
back.
reintroducing the mullet if you want.
Yeah, God damn it, Caleb. I was about to say, if 80s
Mullet.
fucking fashion is back, I will start strangling bitches who start wearing mullets. All right?
By the way, Victor, I actually like high-rise denim. Don't get me wrong there. Okay. The mom jeans, because I'm
Didn't
old.
you hear that they are also
So-
rebooting Spitting Image?
By the way, we want to note for the audience, Kayla and I were talking.
That's going to be terrible.
It's going to be hilarious.
Well, it depends because I have that strong feeling that someone's going to be like, "Oh yeah, well if we're rebooting, we might as well do it like all CG and stuff," and that would just be fucking horrible.
But can you imagine the actual puppet of Bojo and the puppet of Trump? It's like, okay, what's the fucking difference, please, guys?
Yeah. Oh, they could so make little
You can't
parodies.
do a caricature of a caricature. That doesn't work. That's like minus is plus. Come on.
Wait, so a caricature of a caricature is actually a very accurate representation of what's happening.
Oh, a positive representation of the person, right? Only
Well, to be
showing
fair,
the
A caricature isn't necessarily negative.
Well, to be fair, Bojo might be a caricature of, the caricature of Donald Trump. You could almost say the same thing the other way
To
around.
bring this on to less divisive topics.
Anyway,
I don't know what to say.
you had your second one, right? You had the second one that you were
It feels
gonna
really
lead.
odd to say it now because it's gonna.
Just shoehorn it back in.
Go
Go
for
on.
it. Just
Do
go
it.
for it.
Do it.
Mist
Be bold.
mentioned that obviously Ironbank's gone and that PGL's what was it he did? I can't remember the name of it, but the thing
He
to
was
do
doing
with
Auction raffle thing.
Raffle Club, but the problem is it fell on his ass when he wanted $4 billion for a Raven State Navy issue, and
per
everyone's like,
ticket, yeah.
"Yeah."
the
4
thing
trillion,
though there is right. Hasn't Hypernet basically fallen by the wayside lately as well?
Whoa! Hold it!
Yeah.
Hold it! Did
Like,
we call that?
Everyone I know.
Hey, that was a fully sanctioned, well thought out and designed CCP mechanic. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I mean, everyone I know has stopped doing it.
Well, you
Because
understand.
it's
You
either
understand.
scams
Yeah.
or just crap.
But you understand the reason why Summer Blink carried on for as long as it did, right? Promo
Because it
blinks.
wasn't crap.
All promo blinks, all the times that they had like events, every single like have you seen CCP do a single like event other than here you are, here's this new mechanic. Like, no, that's the reason why it failed, because like the reason why Summer Blink carried on for as long as it did was because they put the fucking work in to promote it all the fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that the Hypernet is I really can't.
You can't say that. What the hyper?
I can't say that the Hypernet thing was a failure. I really can't.
Were you able to
Okay.
sell a lot of your stuff?
I got a Panther for 300 million. I consider it a success.
I mean, to be fair, some of those people who got the T2
that's-
BPOs, like
that is a
they
that-
definitely don't feel it.
That is a personal success. We're talking about the project overall. I mean,
I wouldn't even.
I mean,
call it failing.
X up in chat if you're actually
I'm-
using. Hold on, X up in chat if you're actually using the HyperNet relay.
I'm sure
post-factual world. Come on, Eric.
I'm sure CCP will come out with stats on how good it's going.
Mm-hmm.
It would tell us of how talk about the Hypernet has increased dramatically.
So we get
Holy,
we
you
got
should just,
1X, by the way.
Holy, you should Black Frog a
You
fit
also
to
got
that
a Y.
Thanatos and just like go roaming with it. That sounds like a good evening's worth of fun.
So I can't tell if the guys putting the Y's up are serious or just memeing it, right? But
It was
think the
X,
Y is-
so
it's either
Y's
one
don't
or
Y's and N's don't count. It was X's that counted, right? So go 1X every now and then.
okay, he said bait Y, so yeah. Of everyone watching, that's really not many people.
So there's a comment there from Bleezy123. It's like a casino. I don't go to the casino all the time. The thing is, it's not as much as like a casino, more of a vaccine. It is effectively, HyperNet is better the more people use it. You need a critical mass of people using the HyperNet relay for it to be successful, because sellers have to pay to list an item, and then they've then got to actually sell those tickets. If no one's really going on to load up the HyperNet and actually use it, sellers aren't going to sell out all their tickets, then they're not going to start listing and stuff.
Okay.
So,
that was a really belaboured analogy there.
Hold it, Dirk.
I think you could use a house of cards.
No, hang on, guys. Mist. I really hate to completely destroy your non-analogy part of that, like where you say, "Oh, that's not a casino," but if people aren't using a casino, you get, a Trump casino.
Well, no. To be fair,
So what you're saying is,
to be fair,
casinos go bankrupt.
Well, that's the issue there, Arendis. Like, if anything, Trump Casino is actually the worst kind of casino because it doesn't make money.
Well, because they're in freaking Atlantic City.
Use it.
Who goes to Atlantic City for a casino?
Other casinos in Atlantic City make money.
I don't know. I never.
But
let's put it this way.
Which casino would you go to, Arendis? The one where you come out with more money than you went in with, or the one that you go in with a bunch of money and come out broke without your shirt?
I'm just saying. I'm closer to Atlantic City, and I'm like, am I going to go to Atlantic City or Vegas? I'm going to Vegas every time. Who cares about?
Well,
Atlantic City?
it was location, right?
Not even. Okay, first off, don't even look at Atlantic City or Vegas. All right, if I got to choose one, I'm just going up to Mohegan Sun in Connecticut.
Victor got it right there in chat. Okay, I'm just saying.
or the freaking poker casino that's like 5 minutes away from me now, because apparently that's not a casino.
Mm.
Hey, you don't even need to go
hall.
anywhere. You can literally do it on your phone, because I'm fairly certain that all of the mechanics behind all of those things are legit and verified as being
I'm sure
not abusive at all.
By the way, you know what? If they're running at standard house odds, they don't have to actually be a scam, because the casino's already
right. So by the way,
true, but
there is one good thing about Circus in Vegas. I'm not sure it's still there. It was a couple years ago. The steakhouse that is hidden. It's got like this super secret door from the Circus Casino. Otherwise, you have to come in from the outside. Actually, really decent, very old school steakhouse. So old school that you can.
Most successful casinos have something like that, where they've got really freaking good restaurants and shows going on, just to keep you in the building.
Mine didn't.
So yeah, no, but I don't go to Vegas to gamble. Just so you guys know, I just go to Vegas to hang out with Eve nerds, and go do fun stuff.
That's the weird thing.
Get drunk and eat steak, right?
Yeah, or by the way,
get drunk and eat steak is like the best thing to do. Generally,
I'm gonna do this again, because I did this with my corp last year. But we stayed an extra day for the Sunday brunch. Sunday brunch at the Sterling Brunch over in Bally's is the greatest brunch bargain under the sun. I mean, it's a little over $100 for brunch, but what you get on that brunch is amazing. I mean, it's expensive champagne, and you get unlimited champagne. It's really good stuff. So just shout out. By the way, you got to make reservations 3 months in advance to get there.
Eric, this is why you should come to Iceland, right? Because
No.
you can do Brennivine and Minky Whale. It's amazing.
No.
God, that sounds.
Do you get to choose the Mickey Whale?
I hear
Can
whale
you
is
pick out
amazing.
your whale?
Hold on.
Yeah.
I hear from the lady who won't come on this show but goes on the Meta show. I'm never going on any show, but here I am on the Meta show. I don't know who that is, Caleb. But that whale is amazing. but no.
It is. Minke whale is awesome, but I don't think you can actually pick your own whale because it's not season when.
Pick your own whale.
That's
It's
okay.
like do you get to
If you're
pick it
going
out of the
Iceland-
tank? I like
If
that
you're going to
lobster.
Iceland,
that
you
whale.
can pick your own shark for them to pee on and ferment.
Yeah, that's not happening either.
That's not. It wouldn't be in a tank, Eric. It would literally be you stand on the harbor wall and kind of go, I think I want that one.
Hey, go harpoon that one for me, all right?
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
the team just like fucking fires harpoons at it.
No. It's not with harpoons. It's with pickaxes.
That's even
Jesus
worse.
Christ.
Yeah, I was reading. I was reading about the Faroe Islands and one of their like hunt kind of.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
their
Yeah.
traditions. And basically what they do is they get like speedboats and jet skis and what have you, and they will drive a pod of these things up onto a beach to beach them. And then,
them and
like,
beat them, and
a
then you
pick about
get a pickaxe.
this long.
and then- Yeah, it's very Eve-esque, really, when you think about it, right?
Literally, just like they take a pick and they hammer it into the spinal cord, and that's how they do it.
Hey, to be fair, if it's traditional, I don't think they should be using speedboats.
Hey,
they should be rowing.
Yeah, they
or
should be rowing.
They get sails.
Yeah, they should be using sail power or rowing or whatever was traditional.
By the way,
if it's traditional. Fair enough. Like it would be like you know in the UK, like hunts going on, and instead of them using like dogs and like horses,
Well, the fox
everyone's
hunt.
going around on quad bikes and fucking that kind of shit.
Quad bikes with
Yeah.
shotguns.
By the way,
Yeah,
by the
quad
way,
bikes and
everybody,
fucking sniper rifles and shit.
tune in,
Ridiculous.
Tune in next week to Push to Talk, where we'll cover Canadian seal clubbing. So
We have fun on
Clubbing
a
is also very Eve-esque.
We
Eric,
have
I
fun
got
on a
you. I got you
ridiculous
right
tangent.
now.
You got me right now? Okay.
It would be like if we were doing a traditional bison hunt in the American West
with a
Only
train or
instead of-
without a
Only
train?
instead of using guys riding on horses to drive them to the cliff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You just get a line of reaper threshers.
By the way, bison is excellent meat. By the way, good eating.
So
Yes, but generally the bison that you buy in the store was raised on a farm in captivity to be
Yeah.
eaten that way.
I know.
It's not like going out and looking for the last freaking wild herds in order to drive them to a steak.
Well, to be fair, America has actually reintroduced the bison quite successfully, and they're really strong in numbers again. So they should get some kudos for that.
I don't know if we can really say they're really strong in numbers again when there used to be like millions of them.
Yeah.
Well, compared to the fact that they were down to near extinction,
They're a lot better than they
pretty
were
good.
100 years ago. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought that they were extinct, but okay.
No, they're back to like 500,000 plus.
We should-
So it's getting there.
We should tell our audience, welcome to Push to Talk, Wild Kingdom edition.
Yeah. So anyway,
It's a natural segue. when
I've
you
been
start
watching a
talking
lot of
about food,
David
right?
Attenborough lately.
Oh, wonderful.
while we were talking about
boating with
places to go.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not.
By the way, we
talking
have
about
15 minutes, and
places.
remember, Mist has a hard
if
stop
we're-
at 2 o'clock.
If we're gonna talk about something like that, McLeod, then we need to talk about Greta Thunberg and the various other named Gritas going around.
Hold it. Are the Faroe Islands using jet skis to hunt Greta Thunberg? Is that what you're getting at, Dirk?
No, but they'd probably be faster than her non-carbon emitting sailing ships, so I doubt it would be much of a challenge.
I don't know. Have you seen the America's Cup before?
I love the America's Cup, but it's not running yet.
Is that the sailboat with or without the diesel engine loaded that took a pilot that was flown by someone who had to fly back across the Atlantic to pilot it?
Yes, exactly.
I'm not sure what he said there.
But yeah, Eric, you just kind of
the engine as backup.
with Mistwarden, if you're not entirely sure what's going on,
Yeah.
you just kind of go, yeah, that's fine, and move on with your point.
Yeah.
So
America's
yeah, I was
Cup
just gonna ask.
America's Cup has no motors, right? So, by the way, I am a huge America's Cup fan. I don't know if you guys are, but yeah, if we want to start talking sailing, I'm all down with it. But this isn't a sailing show, unfortunately.
This is a seal clubbing show.
I will
Seal
let you
clubbing
in on
show.
A little secret.
Yeah.
Right, about Mr. Warden's articles.
Oh, don't.
Often we can't tell what the hell he's saying. We nod, smile, and push publish.
I mean, I do have to say that I really like the fact
That's
that
not true.
I do have
Okay,
to.
we nod, smile, and make Dirk work.
I do have to say that I like the fact that Mist kind of looks like he's in a budget version of like a BBC interview.
I should have changed. I didn't change the background. I should have changed the background.
Everything on BBC to us in America looks like it's on a budget. Sorry.
A shoestring, pretty much.
Yeah,
yeah.
It is because apparently our current government don't like the BBC.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. The Attenborough documentaries have decent production value.
I don't know. Everything I watch on like BBC
That's
is
when
like
most of the
looks
money
like
goes.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
looks like it's like done in 1970s PBS broadcasting in the U.S. I don't know.
I mean, you've got
yeah.
BBC and you've got BBC
See,
World. And
to
every
me-
week, BBC World has ads.
And this may not make sense to anybody, but you'll all be Googling it soon. Or basically, and by the way, he just passed away, the guy I'm going to reference, right? To me, shows on the BBC always seem to be like watching when I was 12 the McNeil Lehrer Report on PBS. Okay? That is how boring.
That wasn't where I
BBC.
thought you were going with that.
Yeah, see.
I was expecting you to tell me that Tom Baker was dead and I was going to be buried.
No. Jim Lear just passed away, right?
I was expecting him to make a Monty Python reference.
Oh my God, Sikander loves
that
him.
kind of.
He just recently died in Monty Python, then.
Yes.
It was.
Wait,
what was
seriously,
his name?
Caleb? Harry Jones is dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 days ago.
God damn it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The 22nd, it was announced.
Yeah, it really sucks.
So yeah.
To be fair,
fair,
he was suffering pretty heavily with dementia. So like, you know.
Yeah, but still.
It's probably a blessing in disguise. So.
So yeah.
He'd been suffering from dementia for like 60 years.
I've got one more thing
seen his
to
work.
kind of ask people in here about, but I just want to get a sense before we segue completely away from the trips around the place. Who is actually going to FanFest in the audience? If you're going to FanFest, X up in stream chat.
Trolling Y.
Obligatory trolling Y at this point, I think.
Yeah. It's like checkbox, right? So.
You just said it when I put it.
And who else is?
I have a passport that I have to renew, but looking at my year that I'm gonna go through here. When is FanFest again?
Early April.
Yeah,
2nd to
absolutely.
4th is the official dates.
So even if I wanted to go to Iceland, okay, it does not work for me April at all. Unfortunately.
Yeah,
unfortunately for me, it's a little too close to, you know.
I just have, those things we were talking, the irons in the fire prior, Dirk.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's the sweet spot.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, on other sci-fi topics, though, now that we've kind of established that there's about 3 people in the Push to Talk community going to FanFest. Yes, Picard. Who's watched it? Who hasn't?
I have not watched
it.
Haven't,
you're bad.
I've heard good things. I've heard bad things.
I don't have Netflix,
confusing.
right? Isn't it on Netflix? What is it on?
Prime.
It's,
Prime?
yeah.
Oh, Amazon Prime?
Amazon
Or
Prime.
CBS.
Okay.
If you're in the US.
To be fair, I was waiting for someone else to watch it and say whether it was shit or not, because like, yeah, like the whole kind of the whole sort of nostalgia remakes bullshit that's been going on, and just like the terribleness of like, you know, the remakes. You know,
No,
recently
this is something to watch.
Yeah.
You like it?
This is really good.
Isn't it just like The Mandalorian? The bar is so low that to actually make something that's decent and people like, you don't actually have to do anything.
A little bit, but this is. I mean, who was it in Twitch chat? Depop. It's like the second coming. It really is like the second coming of Jean-Luc Picard.
I was really hoping for a good new Star Trek thing to come out, because
this is it.
They have sucked.
I'm almost certain this is it.
It feels a lot like Old Man Logan and Rambo: Last Blood, right? It's like, come on, can we get something new instead of these old guys trying to come back and do what they did 30 years ago?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I did.
Patrick Stewart is a national treasure. You ingrate, Caleb.
So by the way, like in terms of like decent remakes, there's two so far that pique my interest.
Okay.
You know, Dirk. Now you've kind of said the new Picard stuff. Fair enough. The other one, Bad Boys for Life.
Oh God.
See, another example.
Hold it. Is that like Bad Boys? What you gonna do?
Yes.
Okay, I want to go. I want to see that one.
It could have gone super sideways and been fucking terrible.
Yeah,
and
but it was good.
Fair, I expected it was going to be, because like the second one was.
Have you actually?
I like the second one.
It wasn't as good as the first one. But
No,
the second one was pretty good. It didn't hold a candle to the first one, but apparently this third one is like fucking great.
All right.
Well, it is possible to revisit old stuff well. I mean, I haven't gotten through the whole thing of the latest Rambo movie, but like the Rocky revisited stuff, starting with Rocky Balboa.
Yeah, they were good.
It's actually really good.
They were really good, and the Karate Kid, the Cobra Kai thing is really fucking good as well.
I've heard that, yeah. But
like, how you
Rocky
do
stuff,
it, right?
They got back to story and not, who's he beating up this?
Exactly, and that's the difference, right? Where these look a lot like trying to piggyback on old stuff, and in my opinion, the whole thing of Picard kind of doesn't make sense, because he is so old that he can't really portray what I would call badass. That was what he was, right? He was this kind of 50s guy that was still fucking badass. You can't do that with a guy that's pretty much on the way to the retirement home. I think it's just
shut up about Patrick Stewart.
I don't think Patrick Stewart was ever really going for badass.
Yeah.
I mean,
not this time around.
Even last time when they needed somebody to be the macho Kirk type, that's what they had Riker.
Yeah.
But he was like old Jeremy Brett Sherlock, right? He was the intellectual that could also be badass when it was required, right?
I'm sure that when the time comes, Picard can still go onto a holodeck, pull out a make-believe Tommy gun, disable the safety protocols, and kill Borg with force field.
Yeah. In TNG, I was unaware of any actor other than Marina Sirtis. I mean, I didn't know any.
How old were you?
I was in my 20s.
Yeah, that's not unreasonable.
Yeah. Well, Yep, and I actually went to a Star Trek convention where I met her, so it was kind of cool.
And yeah,
not like we were friends, just like in the same area chatting, right?
It's just this day and age is just starting to become ridiculous for me. I might be completely wrong, but the fact that we're going to get a remake of Top Gun just pretty much proves my point.
I am so down for the remake of Top Gun.
Honestly,
I'm excited.
Honestly, Caleb, like modern life is like completely crazy, because like I tried to like charge my book the other day, but like I couldn't because my friend was charging a cigarette.
Nice.
Yeah.
That hurt, McLeod.
Okay.
That physically hurt my brain.
Yeah, I'm not happy with that. Go away with that one.
This is nothing new.
No, it's just getting really bad. Like, really, really bad. I feel sorry for millennials.
It's bad.
It's just
Hey.
more noticeable.
Like, honestly,
It's just
don't feel
noticeable.
sorry about
I mean,
millennials.
look
Millennials are more like capable of dealing with this. Just be sorry for millennials, like from not being able to get on the property ladder. That's about it.
Just like look at it this way, Caleb. All right, the great cultural milestones of our our generation and the last half of the generation before that. Just in sci-fi, let's just stick with the stuff we've been talking about in this conversation. All right, Star Trek.
I'm gonna hope you don't mention
Wagon
certain
Train
things.
in Space. Congratulations, the original series is a remake. Star Wars. It's just Kurosawa's Forbidden Fortress. I mean, this is nothing new, dude.
This is horrendous
we're
going
just
in on
not
the
labeling it something different anymore.
This is literally horrendous going in on the there is no such thing as unique thought.
Hey,
here.
Stragak, there are no boomers on this show. Thank God.
From a writer's perspective, there are 7 stories. That's it. Everything is just variations on the themes.
That's true. But you know what? I'm looking forward to one thing. I'm looking forward to Idris Elba doing 007 because just seeing all the races.
Have they confirmed that?
Not yet, but I'm betting that they're going to do it, and it's going to be glorious because he is amazing as an actor, and just seeing all the races eat shit because it's going to be him. I will bet money on it.
All right, guys.
I hope so.
Okay, guys.
For that.
I got to call it because Mist is going to go. 3 minutes left. We're going to go around for one last thing.
Mist's going to get there on the. Mist's going to get there, and the post office will be closed anyway. So
Yeah, true.
Now he needs to do his bit for the financial
Anyway,
segment
Eric
of
wants to
BBC
go
News.
around, so everybody shut up and let Eric go.
No, I'm not going to go first. Mist is going to go first. Technically, he should be able to shut off his feed, and it doesn't matter. But
I literally have nothing. Hopefully, I wish good luck to Northern Coalition for their content deployment, which will soon be upgraded to a war, which followed by their celebration of the end of the war. So we look forward to that 5-minute period.
Okay.
Alrighty, let's go. Let's go to Bargos. You've been quiet today. How about you?
Yeah. Okay. So mine.
He's not been able to get a word in edgeways.
Partly that.
Because of you.
I'm gonna say that the first episode of Picard is better than the entirety of the sequel trilogy combined. It makes so much more sense.
I think I covered the whole low bar thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually agree with Caleb on this one because anything involving JJ and space is low bar.
Have you guys seen the leaks from the art book for what was planned for episode?
Well, yeah. To be fair, the final episode, the Rise of Skywalker, like took a fucking serious walk off the proverbial map.
I mean, I love how we segued
away from from J.J. Abrams, desired kind of direction. So
I'd just like to thank Arendis for actually pointing me to Legends of Tomorrow, the season that actually gets really fucking good. Because watching that season where Constantine is actually part of the crew is better than any of this Mandalorian, Picard, blah blah bullshit remakes. Starting out with an episode with a fucking unicorn that shoots farts of rainbows and eats people's heart. That's like
you heard it here first. Caleb likes unicorns that fart rainbows.
It was amazing. It was the most funny thing I've ever seen.
The new season is all of one episode in, and it is probably the most hilarious thing I have ever seen.
Oh my god, I'm looking forward to that, but I have to catch up so I can get to the Crisis Earth series.
You do.
All right.
But seriously, it was so good. That unicorn story was so amazing. I have not laughed that much watching a TV show ever.
All right. So it sounds like you all said something. So I'm going to say the Star Trek trilogy, the remake, awesome. The Star Wars Rise of Skywalker sucked. the remake of Top Gun or Top Gun 2 gonna be freaking awesome. And Sikander, I can't even believe that you watched Howdy Doody. I mean, my dad watched Howdy Doody. That's kind of scary. And what was the final thing? I don't know. It's all over.
I think.
Okay, go.
I just want to say thank you very much to everybody who has and may continue to give Plex to the Plex for Good for the fires or for the Australian Red Cross.
Absolutely.
Especially Scott Manley, you fucking legend.
Yeah, he is
God
a legend.
bless him.
He's a legend.
And actually, I've got one more thing there.
All right, go, Horrendous, because your name starts with an A, so you're A1.
There's been a lot of bitching, including on this show today, about boomers, and I am just gonna go right out there and go back to my childhood and say thank you, boomer. All right, because that dude pulled Apollo and Starbucks asses out of the fire so many goddamn times in the original Battlestar Galactica. I can't.
I thought you were going Battlestar Galactica on that.
Didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Well played, Horrendous.
Who was Boomer in the new Battlestar Galactica?
Grace Park.
Yeah, that's where I thought you were going. Sorry, was that kind of creepy? Sorry. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching the show. We will be back same time next week, and thank you guys for being on the panel. What? It was creepy?
Given your Marina Sturtis comments, yeah, that was creepy.
I'm sorry, man. They're attractive
only
ladies.
I do it on the show.
They're just, you know what? It's very challenging to, say, hey, there are attractive ladies out there and not be creepy. I don't know. My wife seems to tolerate it though, so I don't know.
Easy.
I got a meeting. I got to fly.
Later.
It's easier.
For the permit. I don't care if you buy a permit. Do you know how little I actually care if you have a permit?
Complaining about the fact that he received no support from that. I think Boat has some.
Yes, I
some
do.
leaks for us.
Oh, I got some leaks for you.
Like simple shit like that. No, simple shit like that. If you can't answer that publicly,
I need to break in because I need more original every week. That's a goal.
Do you really actually get paid for that? Because you deserve money for that last one. That one was a fucking amazing setup.